Brothers and sisters, I would like you to join me in a 4-step dance, a dance of vitality, a dance of vibrant, good health. It's based upon 4 steps that I've learned in over 50 years in the live food movement. And the first step, green drinks. Nothing can compare with the healing and regenerative qualities of finely divided lettuce, kale, parsley, and Swiss chard. A green drink, so energizing. The next step is intermittent fasting. Let's press the reset button. Let's rejuvenate and cleanse ourselves. The power of fasting is so awesome. Please consider it. And if you can't do a 24 or 36-hour fast, at least consider restricting one's partaking of food to only 2 meals a day, and those within a span of not more than 8 hours. Say a meal at lunchtime, 12 noon, and then another meal at 6 p.m. And then there is vigorous exercise. All of us, hunched over our cell phones, hunched over our laptops as we are, require and need vigorous exercise. It is a necessity in these times to heal and rejuvenate and recreate. And finally, there are victory gardens. To be able to grow at least a part of the food that you eat has become a survival skill. Think of it. Your front yard, an heirloom apple orchard, featuring Thomas Jefferson's and George Washington's favorite tree. Your backyard, a bio-intensive vegetable garden. And imagine giving yourself the privilege of going out and harvesting lettuce, kale, and chard for breakfast each morning. So brothers and sisters, let's discuss these 4 parts, and let us begin with green drinks. Here we go. Today, we're going to be making a green drink for winter. And in this, we're going to be standing on the shoulders of giants. This is a legacy of the so-called raw food movement. There's a great truth, and this truth springs from Arnold Ehret. Arnold Ehret, the great teacher of aliveness and live food, who came to California in the early 20s. And he's written some magnificent books, and all of you should have in your library the Mucilus Diet Healing System, a great classic. We're also going to be talking about Nature's Healing Grasses by Dr. Kirschner. And in the drear of the 50s, he was healing people. He was healing people by blending up in a blender with just spring water. He was using all sorts of wild grass such as dandelion, malva, alfalfa, filigree, parsley, and lamb's quarter. Blending them in a green drink, people would partake of this and would heal themselves, in many cases of serious illness. And then there's Victoria Butenko, who during the last decade traveled relentlessly hither and yon, lecturing to audience after audience about the wonders of green drinks. We're standing on their shoulders and we're going forward. So let's begin. In an ordinary blender, let's put some spring water. Okay. And then to this, I'm going to be adding a heaping tablespoon of our Alive organic almond butter, which we make right here in Berkeley, California, from almonds grown by a California farming family of 5 generations on this California earth. So all we have here is simply spring water and a heaping tablespoon of almond butter. We're going to give it a blend. And what do we have? We have almond milk. The trouble with almond milk is that it's too easy to make. You could buy almond milk in the store, but of course it's been sitting there for who knows how long. It's too easy to make almond milk yourself. Anyway, almond milk is going to be our base. And to this base we're going to be adding some living greens. Why not start with dandelions? Here we'll toss some dandelions into the mixture, and then we're going to also add some dinosaur parsley. This is the best. It's filled with vibrancy, with life. Kale, we all agree, is so wondrous for you. So, couple leaves of dinosaur kale, and let's blend that up. Okay. Then we're going to be adding some Swiss chard. We're so fortunate here in California. But right here in the midst of winter, there is an abundance of living greens. In fact, California produces most of the live vegetables for the whole of the United States at this time of year. So here's a rainbow chard of you have here a red chard, a yellow chard, a red chard, and so forth. Let's add a few leaves of chard. We'll add that. And then some spinach, but of course, here's some live organic spinach. Okay. Okay. And let's here we go. Let's blend it up. Okay, beautiful, magnificent green color. We're by no means done, but parsley. But of course, how could you have a green drink without parsley? And essential. So let's add a couple leaves of parsley, maybe a little more. And then we have a beautiful green kale. This is So glorious, isn't it? Vibrant and alive. So, couple leaves of kale. And what about some beet greens? Beet greens are a wonderful, wonderful salad vegetable. So high, just loaded with nutrients. Okay. And then one more thing, in addition to the beet greens, why not add a beet? So beet here, we're going to, this will give it a wonderful, rich red color. There it goes. And voila, brothers and sisters, we have a green drink. Look at that color, filled with vibrancy, filled with life, and so much needed in these times. A living tree, a live organic green drink for winter. Let us celebrate, let us give thanks and praise, and let's go forward. And now that we've been talking about food, I'd like to say a few words, if I may, about the other gateway to vibrant living, and that's intermittent fasting. All of us, especially around the holidays, eat and eat and eat. Why not give our bodies a rest? Why not think about limiting our intake to only 2 meals a day, or better than that, 1 meal a day? Imagine having as your first meal lunch, and as your second meal dinner, and the experts say don't separate your meals by more than 6 to 8 hours. So have your lunch at, say, 12 noon, and have your dinner between 6 and 8 p.m. And the rest of the time, do not snack. Give your body a rest. Let it digest. Let it do what it needs to do. Let it do what it needs to do. So therefore, you'll find that the rewards for this are so beneficial, so beneficial. Or over and above and more than that, why not think about a water fast? From Sunday night through Tuesday morning for 36 hours, I fast on water. It makes the rest of the week possible. For me, it's a sort of reset, a gathering of my forces, a gathering of my energy to face what come what may during the rest of the days of the week. I find it wonderfully refreshing. That is after I've broken the fast, but of course. So something to think about. A water fast for 1 or 2 days a week. Think on it, brothers and sisters. You'll find it to be immensely rewarding. A few words of caution. Anyone who is taking medications should ask his physician before undertaking a fast. Anyone who is malnourished or underweight should not fast. Children should not fast. Nursing mothers and expectant mothers should not fast. A word of caution. But for the rest of it, why not give it a try? Why not go against the grain? And when everybody is partying and celebrating and packing themselves with food, why not think about a fast? To renew ourselves, to refresh ourselves, to cleanse ourselves, and to go forward in these times. And these things, you can be sure, green drinks and intermittent fastings mobilize the immune system and bring it up to extraordinary levels of vibrancy. And that's what it's all about, to mobilize our body's inherent defenses. Brothers and sisters, we're now doing the next two parts of a 4-part series on becoming more and more vibrantly alive. And we're here in a beautiful park in the Berkeley Hills. One would never guess that it's midwinter, but there are even hints of springtime here in December. And we're going to start with some very, very simple stretches. Let's begin with the neck, and we're going to do some neck rolls. We're going to be going left to right, and around, and then opposite that. Some wonderful neck rolls. All of us who spend too many hours in front of a screen all require this so very, very much so. So we're doing some neck rolls, and then we'll go back, up and down, and then all the way around. Please don't hesitate to follow along. You're so welcome indeed. And next thing we're going to be doing are some shoulder rolls. And we're going to be doing up and down, and then forward, shoulder rolls, and then let's warm up our wrists by doing some wrist exercises like that. And then let's follow that with a shoulder stretch. Left hand, stretch it out. This is a wonderful exercise, like this. And then shoulder stretch with the right hand. Shoulder stretch with the left hand. Shoulder stretch with the right hand. And then some very, 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 very simple movement, going all the way around, and then we'll do some bends, hands above. We'll go down, up, up, down, between, up, down, between. And let's get down to the floor, please. And we'll do stretch, right foot over left, and then another stretch, left foot over right, right foot over left, left foot over right. We'll do the plow exercise from yoga. And then figure eights with one's pelvis. And I have found this to be very beneficial indeed. So figure eights from one's pelvis. Let's get all the knots and all the stiffness out. Figure eights, remarkably beneficial. And now let's do some stretches. I think these are called V push-ups or some such things like that. So here we go with V-ups. Yeah, that's it, a V-up, a V-up, a V-up, and a V-up. And then we're going to stretch here, go all the way over. And then that has sort of loosened up the energy. And let's get some of our knots and stuck places out. As you see, I've taken off my shoes. I'm in contact with the vibrant grass, this vibrant California earth. So let's go ahead. Let's do some deep breathing, and let's feel the heave of the earth. Feel the vibrations of the earth. Feel the heaving of the earth, the breathing of the earth, the life of the earth underneath our feet. And let's get all that stuck energy, that anger, that raucousness, all those misunderstandings. Let's get them all out and grounded into the earth. The earth can take it. We cannot. Let's not hold anything. Let's ground it all out, all of that stuck energy. So those are a few very, very simple elementary exercises that all of us need so very, very much indeed, stuck as we are in front of a computer screen. And now I'd like to say a few words about Victory Gardens. Victory Gardens are part of our ethos. Ask your grandparents about Victory Gardens. In 1943, in the midst of the Second World War, there were 18 million Victory Gardens in these United States. And these Victory Gardens produced 40% of the vegetables that people ate in those times. Think of it. Eleanor Roosevelt, a righteous woman, had the part of the White House lawn dug up and planted there a Victory Garden. Imagine that. Now, in most of the states at this time, it's a little too cold and the ground is a little too frozen to start planting. But all of us, in the privacy of our kitchens, can grow wheatgrass, Here's a wheatgrass flat that I've grown. Look how vibrant this is. And you can be sure there are many, many wondrous videos on YouTube that will show you just how to go about planting a wheatgrass flat. How magnificent, how vibrant, how alive it is. Imagine throwing a clump or two of wheatgrass in a living green drink. We can grow sunflower sprouts. Also very, very easy to grow, and innumerable videos on YouTube that will show you step by step just how to go about. And in addition to this, you can grow lentil sprouts, arugula sprouts, broccoli sprouts, cabbage sprouts. So many, many possibilities out there. Even in the midst of winter, all you need is a south-facing window and you're in business. And I would like to say that we can start planning a victory garden. There are also many YouTube videos that will show you step by step how to go about it. Please start to plan your victory garden now. It's not a luxury. It's become a necessity, a necessity of survival in these times. All of us have got to go back, to get back to the wonderment, the joy, and the creativity of growing our own food. It is a privilege, brothers and sisters. And then beyond that, it may be a little too cold to plant a garden right now, but you could create create in your backyard a compost pile and begin with that immediately. And it's also the time, brothers and sisters, to plant a tree. Think of it, planting in your front yard or planting in your backyard an heirloom historic apple tree, a pear tree, a plum tree, a peach tree, or a cherry tree. Now is the time. It's called bare root season. Now is the time to plant a tree. And plant that tree with intentionality. Plant your tree because 42% of American adults are obese. And they say that in just 10 years' time, it's going to be 50% obese. Plant that tree, that historic fruit tree, because there's a surge in suicides. And this is all the more tragic that that part of that surge is amongst teens and young people. All the more tragic. And they say that the number of suicides has overtaken the number of deaths due to traffic-related injuries. This is so, so, so sad. Plant that tree because over 40,000 Americans die each year of overdosing on opioids. Plant that tree because for the last 3 consecutive years, life expectancy has been falling in these United States despite the hundreds of billions of dollars spent on Medicare. Plant that tree because the birth rate in these United States has fallen to the lowest point ever since they started keeping records in the 1890s. What could be more sad and more tragic? And let me conclude, brothers and sisters, with our faith in you, that you will see us through, you will carry us through, you will help us create here a garden, an edible landscape for the human spirit. Thank you so very, very much indeed. A privilege to share some thoughts. We so much enjoy your comments and suggestions. Thank you indeed.